Hi there and welcome back. Let's make an attempt to review narcolepsy today. We'll get into the different mnemonics like NREM, NREM, EDS, things like that, PSG, MSLT. What are the signs, symptoms, reasons, how do we diagnose and treat, and bottom line, underwriting. So let's begin with narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is a neurological disorder characterized by the brain's inability to control sleep and or wakefulness cycles. People with narcolepsy suffer from chronic daytime sleepiness and episodes in which they fall asleep unexpectedly during the day. These sleep attacks can occur at any time during any activity. Sleep attacks are not limited to periods of dull or low engagement activities but can happen during school or work hours, in the middle of a conversation, while eating, while exercising or playing sports, or most dangerously while driving. People with narcolepsy sleep approximately the same amount as ordinary people, but they are unable to regulate the timing of their sleep. For most people, sleep occurs in various stages. We enter sleep lightly and gradually progress into a deeper sleep. These early stages of sleep are called NREM, that is non-rapid eye movement sleep. After approximately 90 minutes, we enter REM, that is rapid eye movement sleep, where dreaming occurs. Throughout the course of a night, we experience 5 cycles alternating between NREM and REM sleep, with about 75% of the sleep spent in NREM. However, for people with narcolepsy, REM sleep begins almost immediately in their sleep cycles, and fragments of REM occur involuntarily during waking hours. So that's the conceptual overview of narcolepsy. Symptoms are very unique. Let's get into the symptoms one by one. The first one to notice is disturbed nocturnal sleep. Just as people with narcolepsy have trouble staying awake during the daytime, they often have difficulty staying asleep at night. They can wake up to 4 or 5 times up to 10-20 minutes with no clear reason. Their sleep can be disturbed by insomnia, vivid dreaming, sleep talking, acting out while sleeping, and periodic leg movements. Another important symptom or sign or the concept that you would typically see in the medical records, and you may want to pay the attention, that is EDS, that is excessive daytime sleepiness. EDS is the most common symptom of narcolepsy and usually the first symptom to appear, usually between the ages of 10 to 20 years old. This EDS is characterized by chronic persistence of feeling sleepy and involuntary episodes of falling asleep without warning. Sleep attack bouts can last anywhere from several seconds to several minutes. People with EDS report it as feelings of mental cloudiness, a lack of energy and concentration, a depressed mood, or extreme exhaustion. EDS occurs even if the patient appears to have gotten plenty of sleep the night before and usually persists throughout the day. So that's very unique. Another important sign of narcolepsy is hallucinations. Sufferers of narcolepsy can experience hallucinations during times when they are waking from sleep or during sleep onset. The hallucinations are often very vivid and can even be frightening. Yet another landmark feature or the sign or the symptom of narcolepsy is sleep paralysis. What is sleep paralysis? Sleep paralysis is the inability to move or speak while one is falling asleep or beginning to wake up. During sleep analysis, the sufferer is consciously aware of their surroundings but is unable to move because the body is still in REM sleep. During REM sleep, the voluntary muscles are paralyzed to keep people from being able to act out their dreams. Sleep paralysis usually lasts only a few seconds up to a few minutes with no permanent effects. Yet another unique sign or symptom of narcolepsy is called cataplexy. Cataplexy is very similar to sleep paralysis in that there is an involuntary inability to move muscles or speak. While very similar to sleep paralysis in condition, it is usually onset by varying circumstances. Instead of occurring at the beginning or end of sleep, catalepsy can occur at any time. Make a note of this. Cataplexy can occur at any time during the waking period and is usually triggered by intense emotions such as surprise, fear, anger, stress, or even humor. Cataplexy can also occur in various degrees of severity, ranging from a slight loss of motor functions such as weakness in the muscles or dropping eyelids to a complete loss of muscle tone resulting in physical falls and an inability to move or speak. During cataplastic attacks, sufferers are fully conscious of the event but unable to control it. So these are the unique signs and symptoms about narcolepsy. Let's talk about the causes. What are the causes? Narcolepsy is caused by deficiency of several neurotransmitters resulting from a decrease in neurons in a specific part of the brain, the hypothalamus. These deficient neurotransmitters are responsible for increasing brain activity in the regions responsible for maintaining wakefulness. The loss of the hypothalamic neurons possibly is due to a neurodegenerative and or autoimmune process. Most sufferers of narcolepsy don't have a family history of narcolepsy, and only about 10% report having close relatives with narcolepsy, according to one study. Another study suggests that narcolepsy may also be secondary to brain injuries due to tumor, stroke, or vascular malformations. Yet another study suggests when narcolepsy does result from one of these secondary causes, there will always be associated neurological deficits in cognition or findings on neurological examination, so that brain imaging is not necessary to rule out the secondary causes. Okay. So how do we diagnose? The primary care physician may be able to make a preliminary diagnosis of narcolepsy based on the symptoms and signs of the EDS and cataplexy. However, for a comprehensive diagnosis of narcolepsy, you will need to have a battery of specialized tests performed at a sleep clinic. The two tests used in conjunction to diagnose narcolepsy are listed here: the PSG or the polysomnogram, and the MSLT is the multiple sleep latency test. Okay, let's move on. So, how do we treat? Treatment includes stimulants, antidepressants, and sodium oxybate, as well as lifestyle remedies such as to keep a consistent sleep schedule, get regular exercise, and avoid caffeine and alcoholic beverages 2-3 hours before bedtime have helped many patients. Okay, so that precisely summarizes the narcolepsy, the mnemonics, the different terms that we need to know, and bottom line, how do we underwrite? As far as underwriting goes, you know what to do. Follow your underwriting manual and follow the internal company specifics that your company expects you to follow. Okay, let's take a quick break here and we'll start with the sleep apnea so that we can better understand how narcolepsy is, we just quickly reviewed, and what is sleep apnea and how it works and how to correlate, because to underwrite means to correlate. Okay, see you soon. Take care. Bye now.